First and foremost, R.I.P. Pop Smoke. Rest in peace to the young man. He was on his way. You couldn't predict how his career was going to end up. You could not predict what was going to happen to him, what kind of heights of success he was going to reach. R.I.P. Pop Smoke. This is a project that we have following his passing. So this is a project that was put together. I know 50 had a lot of involvement with this project. So when I heard that this album was coming out, I was super psyched. I was super ecstatic about it. I was so looking forward to it. And now that the project has come out, I have managed to form an opinion of my own with regards to this album. Now, Pop Smoke, it took me a while to get into Pop Smoke. Dio, I heard Dio the first time when it came out. I was like, I don't understand it. But then I heard it again and I was like, nah, I understand it. Come and Meet the Woo, Welcome to the Party. This is what I associated Pop Smoke with. So when this album dropped and I'm now listening to this album, a lot of this album doesn't have those elements. A lot of this album doesn't have the Dio elements, doesn't have the Come and Meet the Woo elements, doesn't have the Welcome to the Party elements. This album, because to me, this is what I associated Pop Smoke with. I associated Pop Smoke with those singles that he had. So when I heard this album, I was kind of thrown off a little bit because I don't know, the features. We'll get into that. We'll talk about the features. We'll talk about the tracks. We'll talk about a couple of things. But to me, it's not what I expected. I expected the entire album to sound, to have the same vibe as the Dior single, the Come and Meet the Woo single, the Welcome to the Party single. That's what I expected this album to make, to sound like. 19 songs. That's a big album. And let's start off with some features here, because this is the other thing as well. Someone like a Pop Smoke should have a certain type of features. You know, like on a Pop Smoke album, I want to see a Jadakiss feature. I want to see a Styles P feature. I want to see like some New York heavy hitters on the album. Kind of disappointed because some of these features are weak. These features are extremely weak, and they do not need to be on this album. Pop Smoke is New York. I thought it would have a bunch of New Yorkers on here. 50 Cent is just about the only New Yorker here. Everyone else is kind of from the South. And I didn't really understand it. King Combs to me is not an artist. I'm really sorry if there are any King Combs fans out there that are like, you know, offended by what I just said. But King Combs to me is not an artist. King Combs to me is someone that has access to a lot of things in the music industry and has decided that he wants to do music. This is not someone that has a passion for it in my visual. King Combs is not an artist to me. I don't take him seriously enough. I'll take Street Jesus. I'll take White Jesus seriously enough before I take King Combs seriously enough. But anyway, let's get back to these features, man. From the get-go, so from the moment you listen to this album, it kind of throws you off a bit because it's not what, for me anyway, it's not what I expected. The intro is fine. Let me see if I can get a copyright strike for that. This is the intro right here. You know, it's the same Pop Smoke vibe. So when you listen to this intro, in your mind, you're like, whoa, this is going to be some crazy stuff, man. This is going to be Welcome to the Party kind of stuff. You get down over here, and this is the way the album starts off, because this is the way the album has been structured. The album has been structured in a commercial way. So what happens is when you structure something in a commercial way, you have to cater to all your audiences, and you will see that the album doesn't kick off until some of these features are out the way, and even then the album still does not kick off. It's the same kind of structure that a Lloyd Banks album would have back in the day, where there's the songs that are there, and then there's kind of like the songs for the females, and everything else follows. So it's structured to cater to the general consensus, the general amount of people that listen to this, which is not what I thought. I thought that this was going to be nothing but like 15, 12 songs of just, come and meet the woo, that kind of stuff. But it's not. It's genuinely not what I thought. This album is not what I thought it was gonna be. But let's get into it. Quavo. Quavo to me is a very, very weak artist. I think that when Quavo is amongst the Migos, he potentially blends in better than if he was by himself as a solo artist. To me, Quavo is a very, very weak feature. I don't understand the logic behind this. I don't understand having Quavo there. To me, it just makes no sense at all because of the style of Pop Smoke. That Pop Smoke style, and then you go and put like a Quavo there. It just doesn't make sense. If he was on the chorus, great, whatever. But Quavo is featured on this album multiple times, which is what I don't understand. They could have gotten someone from New York on this track. Anyway, let's get into it. This is Aim for the Moon. I don't see the point in this. I don't see the point in this. Like, maybe I've listened to this album twice, by the way, guys. It's not me just blabbing stuff. I've listened to this twice, and none of these songs here really, really give you the Pop Smoke identity that you're familiar with from his singles. None of these tracks. This is a weak feature to me. Lil Baby, The Baby, Quavo. These guys are weak features. Lil Baby is dope. Lil Baby's previous album is absolutely dope, but it does not blend in with what this project is. And I don't understand for the life of me why there's so many Southern rappers on this New York artist album. I'm losing my words because it's like I've got so much to say, and I'm trying to say it in a constructive manner. You can tell that Pop Smoke has only been rapping for a little while, because if Pop Smoke had been rapping for a little bit longer, he would have managed to structure, he would have managed to deliver, he would have managed to put together better formats, and he would have managed to, once you do this for a minute, you can kind of more or less go into something knowing how you want it to sound. All of these tracks here don't sound like Pop Smoke. All of these tracks here sound like somebody told him, go ahead and hit me with a vocal, and then he tried his best to do that vocal. So I mean, it is what it is. Sway Lee to me is a weak feature, man. Like, I know that's all I've been saying so far, but to me, these are all weak features. All of these are weak features. Future, I don't care about Future. Future to me is a weak artist. Future to me. So this track here, Make It Rain, before it came out, it was all over Instagram. You could see Pop Smoke in the studio, and he was kind of going over the chorus, I make it rain on whoever. That was dope. Like, this is where the album, when you're listening to it track after track, this is where you think that the album's about to kick off. It's about to give you all of those Dior, Welcome to the Party kind of anthem kind of tracks. But well, after this here, it's this one here with the Woo, 50 Cent, Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch to me has one format, and his format does not blend in with what they're trying to do here. Tyga. I mean, where do I begin with Tyga? Tyga is a weak feature. Like, to me, Tyga, why would you put Tyga on your album? I understand that he is available because of, I think a while ago, some of his info was leaked. People found out how much Tyga charged for a feature, and it was quite reasonable. So if you're a new up and coming artist and you're looking for a feature, I think that, the ones that you can afford would probably be like a Tyga. You can probably afford Tyga as a feature. But nah, man, it's the whole album is kind of more or less the same. It's kind of more or less the same. It's a hit and miss for me. This is, oh Christ, I'm not here for that. I'm not. Part of it is also Pop Smoke not having rap for a while. Pop Smoke is I think in one of his interviews he said that he'd only been doing it for 2 years, and you can tell if you listen to this album, you can tell what we love about Pop Smoke is his cadence. We love the way he sounds on the mic. We love the ad libs. We love, we love the energy, the projection. His lyricism will come into play a little bit later. When I was growing up, I always thought that New Yorkers had like the best lyrics. The Styles P's, everyone from New York. I always assumed that if you're from New York, you're a heavy lyricist. So it's not the case with Pop Smoke. His lyrics are quite his lyrics are there, but they're watered down lyrics. So I think with time, Pop Smoke would have evolved and his lyricism would have become much sharper. I have no doubt about that. Unfortunately, uh, he didn't get the chance to get to that stage. But I'm confident that Pop Smoke's lyricism would have become sharper, much sharper. Um, in the next following projects, as this is his first project, as he's not been doing this for some time, he kind of repeats the same thing. Like I think in 3 or 4 songs he kind of mentioned the whole um nut on the chest thing. I think he's mentioned that like 4 times. So that's just an example of someone who the diversity is not there, possibly because they haven't had enough time to grow, possibly enough time to to explore other lyrical patterns or other words or other formats. But yeah, this is where I get kind of even more disappointed, because you're listening to this album and you're thinking to yourself, okay, wow, Make It Rain, um so much hype around Make It Rain, and you think to yourself, wow, this is about to get really good. But then it goes over to, I think this is where the female audience is catered to. Remember, I was talking about structure in the beginning, and I think this is where the the female structure comes into it. So something special to me is a Tamiya sample. Actually, it doesn't even try to be a sample. It's just the entire beat. People have explored this before. So Fabulous, back in the early 2000s, I think it was, Fabulous did a track to this. Everyone's jumped on this beat. And if you listen to this beat, if you listen to this song, it is extremely disappointing, man. This song is, I'm not going to say it's trash, but what you have as comparison is the Fabulous joint, and then you got the Tamiya joint, the original one, and then you got this one. So you've got about 2 songs to compare this to. And it's a bit disappointing, man, but this is the way that the album sort of continues. So it goes from that, and it continues towards this. You know what I mean? It's just and King Combs. I told you guys already. I don't care about King Combs. King Combs does nothing for me. Like like King Combs is not a great lyricist. We know Puffy has a bunch of ghostwriters there. We know Crooked Eye used to be a ghostwriter for Puffy on a few projects. We know Royce the 5'9" used to be a ghostwriter. Black Rob, G Dep, all these people here used to be ghostwriters. So I don't take Bad Boy King Combs. I don't take him seriously, man. This is just to me, this is a rich kid who probably enjoys fame, and has probably decided that in order to acquire more fame, he needs to become an artist. But I don't take King Combs seriously. This here is a hard track. This here is a hard track. Hold on. This here is a track that I'm very proud of, because I believe Devonte is the one that made the beat. And if you know anything about producers on YouTube or beat makers on YouTube, you will know about Devonte. I've got a couple of tracks where I rapped on Devonte beats, obviously for non-profit, because you got to give the man his credit. Every producer, every songwriter, every beat maker that's on YouTube, you have to give them their credit, because they're taking something and they're putting it out there on YouTube for you guys to listen to. But yeah, shouts out Chucky Beats, shouts out Devonte, shouts out Purple Hills, I think it is, Purple Beats. All these guys put in work on YouTube, like these Kronos Beats. Kronos is another dope guy. Shouts out to all these guys that put their work out there, and for you guys to go ahead and make non-profit mixtapes off those beats that they work hard on. Got It On Me is such a hard beat, and I'm so proud of Devante. He probably doesn't know who I am. He probably doesn't know I exist. He's probably never going to listen to this, but Devante has been making beats for a minute, and I have on my mixtapes, I think I have rapped on some of his beats as well. But it's just so nice to see someone from YouTube that finally get a shot. Like, this is Pop Smoke. Like, Pop Smoke has taken that beat from Devante and used it on one of his tracks. That to me is a major, major win. So shouts out to everyone that puts their beats out there on YouTube. It's so good to see when all the hard work pays off, because trust me, Devante's got some sick ass beats, and I've known Devante's beats, his channel, for a while, for a minute, and I'm happy to see that one of his beats is finally on a major project, and this is the major project. Got It On Me. There's like two songs that I love in this whole Pop Smoke album. Got It On Me, and I guess Make It Rain. This here is just straight fire. This is look. Have mercy on me. So they've taken out the tag, but there's usually like a Devante. Like, there's a tag there. They've taken it off because I'm assuming that they now own the beat outright. So that's really, really dope to see. So shouts out to Devante. I don't know how much money he made off this, but I'm very proud of him for having made, for now being on a major project. He gets to say that. But yeah, that's about it, man. Everything else here is kind of more or less the end of it. It's 19. They're not solid, in my opinion. They're not solid tracks, man. I would have liked for New York. I would have liked for more New York on this, and I would have liked for a different vibe. I would have liked for a Dior vibe. I would have liked for a Welcome to the Party vibe. I would have liked for that. Instead, what you get is these mediocre, average, put together. I don't even know, man. It gets commercial real quick, and there's nothing wrong with that because this is a commercial project. It's not a mixtape anymore. But in my mind, I would have liked for this to have a little bit more New York in it. I don't care about Quavo. Quavo to me is a weak feature. Lil Baby, the Baby, you could have put some New Yorkers there. There's so many New York artists you could have put there. Sway Lee is a weak feature. Quavo again, weak feature. Future, weak feature. Roddy Rich. I don't have a problem with Roddy Rich, but the thing about Roddy Rich is he has one format, and his format does not blend in with this track here. Tiger is a weak feature. Matter of fact, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Quavo is featured on this album 3 times. For the life of me, I do not know why he's there 3 times. Quavo is not that good as a feature. When he's with the Migos and they're doing the ta-ta-ta-ta, maybe I'll give him some credit. But this is completely weak. The features in here are absolutely rubbish. Lil TJ held his own on this song, but I kind of feel like this project here needed a little bit more New York. This is my take on it. I think this needed a little bit more New York. I'm not too happy with this project here. King Combs, I told you guys already, I don't care about King Combs. To me, he's just it's whatever. But yeah, out of all these tracks, I can pull out 2. Even the 50 Cent feature one, to me, it does nothing. Out of all these tracks, I can pull out 2. I can pull out Got It On Me. What's the other one I can pull out? Make It Rain. Make It Rain is the other one that I can pull out. But other than that, this album is not what I expected. A bit disappointed because there's been so much hype around this. But it's just not what I expected. I would have liked to see more New York on this. King Combs, by the way, I don't consider him to be New York. I don't care about King Combs, man. Get that shit out of my face. Karol G, she sounded great. But yeah, it's a weak album. It's not what I expected. It could have been better, but it is what it is. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this album, this project. Let me know what your favorite tracks are on this album, this project. And tell me if I'm wrong, because to me, Pop Smoke should have had New York. Like this should have been like the Coming of New York album. Instead, it's kind of like a baby kiddie type of commercial, la di da di song with like two grown ass men songs. Got It On Me and the other one, I forgot what the name is already. But yeah, that's it from me, man. Just let me know. Let me know what you thought about it. I'm not always correct, so if I'm wrong, just let me know I'm wrong. But yeah, that's it from me, man. Just it's Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon was extremely weak for me for those reasons. But yeah, that's it from me, man.